Hey, everyone. I hope everyone is good. I hope everyone is well. I hope your ears are open and receptive. And I hope that everything that you've been wishing and praying for will come to pass in 2023. We have a few days left of 2022. Miracles can happen. Things can come to pass. So I hope it happens sooner than later. I want to dig into this, and this might be a short segment, but I want to talk about capacity, and I really want us to understand what that is in the sense of envisioning it and like digging deep to where we understand what capacity really means. So a few years ago, listen, and that's how I know that God, he talks to me like the way that he talks to me. So I'm more of you have me in tune when I hear a good word, whether that is from a minister or, a preacher, someone who is talking and they talking real sense. And so when I'm locked in, I'm engaged. And I can't remember if it was Instagram or TikTok, but I was scrolling, and this was like a few years ago, and I saw TD Jakes talking about capacity. And he explained this, and it was him explaining it to Oprah. And Oprah was talking about, the troubles that she went through with her mom and just the lack of understanding that her mom had when it came to rearing her, and just all kind of stuff. So he explained it this way, and this is not verbatim, but y'all, like, it flipped, turned, rearranged my whole way of thinking, because it was the message that I needed right then. So he said basically this: many people give us what they can give us because in their perspective, their glass is full. So y'all envision this for me. You have two glasses. One is a slender glass and the other one is a wider glass. But both of these glasses are halfway full. Okay, let's say halfway full. So they're equal by the way that they are. And you take this wide glass, which would be representative of you, and you pour it into the slender glass, and what happens is the slender glass overfills, right? And it is representative of how we, from our perspective, have this way of thinking that everybody sees, feels, and thinks the way that we do. In my cup, which is wide and halfway full, and in your cup that is slender and halfway full, I feel like we're on the equal playing field. And I feel that you have enough that you can give me. You can give me a little bit more love. You can give me a little bit more understanding. You can give me a little more respect. But what if the slender glass didn't realize that they were half full and they were full to capacity? And so by the means of their perspective, they can't give you anymore. And it's impossible to give you anymore because they are slab full. And this is why it is important to understand that from everyone's perspective, it is different. While you are longing for the love and the desire from another person, they are giving you exactly everything that they have because they feel that their cup is full and runneth over. You are constantly asking them to pour more into you, and they don't have it to pour. I often think about many of us in relationships to our parents, And by means of our perspective and their perspective is different. The way in which they structured and raised us may have seemed as if it was a little bit too much or too structured or too mean. And from their perspective, they were giving us all that they had because they were raised this way, right? And their structure and their what could be conveyed as being mean was the way in which they felt they needed to teach their children on how to navigate in life. But from our perspective, wasn't what we needed. We needed love. But from a parent's perspective, they were giving us the very best of what they've learned and what they thought that they could give. The same way in a relationship, you enter into a relationship with someone and you need a little bit more affection, and they're doing everything else. They are, and I don't want to put a capitalized statement on this, but male and female, and this is what often happens in relationships. So I'll use that as an example. You have a man who was told to be a man by means of taking care of home and paying bills and working a job, no matter what the hours are. That is what constitutes what a man is. But by the standards of a woman, working a job and paying the bills is only surface. What she really needs is affection and love and a little bit of a pay attention to, and that man is lacking. But from his perspective, he is giving exactly full to the rim because someone told him so. That he is working his fingers to the bone, that he is providing as much as he can, and his lack of affection and his lack of love and his lack of attention didn't dawn on him because he is pushing himself to the rim and he is full, while the woman is empty. Because those surface level things of working and paying the bills doesn't matter. So it's all about perspective. And when that was explained to me, everything for me opened up. And it wasn't as if it was an excuse for the other person, because if you ask enough, and if a person on the opposite end is willing to make changes and understanding, and even with this statement and using this, is willing to understand and make changes, things could happen. But there are also people who are not willing to change anything about what they're giving because they feel that they're giving enough. And that is your chance and your opportunity to figure out what you want to do. Do you want to stay? Or do you want to leave? Is what they're giving in their full capacity enough for you? Is it workable? Can you take a little bit off of yours and try to pour into them? Or do you feel as if what they're giving me and what they will attempt to give me is not enough? Again, it's all about perspective. So capacity, thinking back, because I want to hone into this and I really want to, mash this in. People feel full. They feel that they are giving so much of themselves to other people. And it's not until perspective is put into play where people don't really realize that they're not giving enough. And you can't be mad at a person who felt that they were giving all that they could give, because you have decisions to make afterwards, whether you are going to stay or be understanding and work right through it. Always remember that even from your vantage point and from your view, things are really one-sided because it's from your perspective. Always take into consideration how another person looks at something, or what they believe that they're bringing to the table, or how they feel. Because not considering the other person's perspective or their glass half full or half empty really doesn't serve you if you feel that you're always right, in juxtaposition to capacity. While you feel that your broad and wide cup, which is halfway full in comparison to the narrow cup that is full or halfway full, is equal, it really isn't. What they give you and what they pour into you makes them empty. And what you pour into them overflows, but you still have more. That's why you can't see it. It's all about perspective. Remember capacity, y'all. And that's all I got. That's all I got. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understood capacity for what it is, and also equating it to perspective. I'm so glad that you are here. I'm so glad that you were listening in. I'm so glad that you are locked in. And I'm so thankful for the followers, the listeners, the people who are tuning into the podcast. I'm excited for what 2023 has in store for Seasoned Dialogue. And this is the end. I'll see you later. All right, bye.